Welcome everyone to Armored Warfare League Week 7 of Season 1. I am Cerebius.
I'm Raux.
And we are bringing you tonight the 8th Canadian Hussars and...
versus the red team.
The red team.
Which is going to get... when they're blue, it's just going to throw everybody off.
Yeah,
I'm going to put that right out there.
It is.
I think they did it deliberately.
Yeah, it should be quite the tongue twister for us, so please laugh away and have a great time with it. I believe they're putting their teams together now, and we should be rolling into action here shortly. While we're waiting, though, let's talk about some free stuff.
Oh, I love free stuff.
Yeah, because we have free stuff tonight. We are giving away
free food.
Free food. I didn't know that. Really?
Well, I was asking you. I was wondering here. I'm wondering if we're giving away free food, because that's always good stuff.
No free food. We are giving away 2 Chieftain Mark Leader 6 and 1 WZ 1224.
Yeah, and the links to those will be in the chat. We hope you all get there, and I hope you guys win stuff, because winning stuff is always nice.
It is always nice to win stuff.
And the first battle will be fought on Lost Island.
Yeah, we're going to go to Lost Island. So we should be jumping in with them here any second now. As there they are. And it looks like...
the red team, being MOH, is the red team, having brought 4 T-64s, 1 Lab 300, and an XM800T as a scout. We have the 8th Canadians bringing a similar setup of 4 T-64s, a BMD-1, and 2 Lab 300s.
So a little different here for the red team.
Indeed, especially because the red team is down a tank.
Are they really missing?
They are down a tank. I looked at it.
They only have 6.
They only have 6 tanks.
Okay. I guess such as it is. This should be a good battle. Both of these teams are dead even in the leagues.
Right, which means they have the same amount of points, same amount of wins, same amount of losses, and tonight it'll decide who's top dog, I guess.
One of these teams will go up on the other unless every match is a draw.
That would be interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. I'm thinking they're going to want that. So it looks like the red team didn't bring a Lab 300 with them.
No, they brought an XM800T, and what they're doing is you can see them, and they did bring a Lab 300.
Well, no, normally we see 2 Lab 300s and then either the BMD or the XM800. And then either T-64s, or of late we've been seeing...
some Starships.
The Starships, but it looks like these guys are back to T-64s.
Right. And so here we are. It looks like it's going to be a middle fight. We have 1 XM800T in the north searching, and the Lab 300s with the BMD-1 from the 8th Canadian Hussars down in the south scouting it out. But it looks like it's going to be a fight around the cap circle with main battle tanks mostly.
And, if the red team can push here, they have an opportunity to kind of go ahead early, as the 8th Canadian Hussars have sent 3 scouts south. So while they're already down a tank, this effectively makes their opponent down 3 tanks, so they have a 2-tank advantage here in the middle.
Right, so if they push it correctly and do it very well, this should be an easy win. But who can say, as it looks like the 8th Canadians have gotten themselves in a very good position. They seem to be well coordinated and know how to fire and angle their armor against one target. And here we can see that the red team is in the cap circle, the red team being blue, in the cap circle there and holding it off, looking to pressure the opponents into coming after them while they're in the cap circle, which I think is an interesting move, as they are down 2 tanks.
That is an interesting move. Well, they're only down 1.
Right, but one of their tanks is not out of play. You got 3 from the 8th Canadians.
Oh, the Lab 300. Oh, they're
and a T-64 just got knocked out. Soldier Boy knocked out. Bullet 1379.
So the teams are brought to even.
Right.
And, I kind of like this approach. It's like, okay, we're going to put some pressure on in the cap circle. Oh, they just drove out of it.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of bring the battle right there.
Yeah, and if we look, we can also see that the red team's XM800T and the Lab 300 are coming around the backside, getting ready to put in an amazing flank. And all those T-64s from the 8th Canadians will not be able to deal with them simply because they're facing the other T-64s at the front.
Yeah, that XM800T, I think he's going full stealth here. I don't know that anybody's ever picked up where he is.
Oh, he just got knocked out, I think. Nope,
no, the XM800T is still in play for the red team, although they're not doing as very well.
Both teams have lost 2 T-64s.
Yeah, so it's really back to where it was. It started with the 8th
and now it's tied again
1.
with the red team taking 2 tanks down. Like, it's so confusing.
Yeah, it is so confusing, but that's okay. We'll get there.
And we can see the brawl coming down in the middle. We have a couple of people out of position there, but tanks being unable to take the shots, or shots missing and bouncing, as we saw there. Banshee 3 there in the bouncing shots very well off the front of his armor. He's obviously played this tank a lot, and I think that's going to come down to winning, is the knowledge of the tank. So far, these teams are even still since the beginning. The 8th Canadians are still up a tank, but same from where they started.
Well, they've been trading a tit for tat all evening. Mm-hmm. So, and it's good play. It's really good play.
It is, and there it is. It's even again. Banshee, they're knocking out one of the T-64s, which is a good kill. But now the red team is in a bit of a pickle. It looks like they're going to pick up one more T-64, but they are surrounded, which could cause them a lot of trouble. In fact, there's the shots from the back, and now it's just an XM800T with that surround coming in effectively and pinching them off. Very well executed. Now I think we're getting misreadings. Nope, there it goes.
That's it. And that is game.
Yes, it is. Well fought by both teams.
Well fought by both teams, but that was the 8th Canadian that took the win there, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Is the Artie too much for you? Tired of constantly getting raining shells and missiles? Wish it would just stop. I got it. The Artie umbrella, just in time. Only 1,999 credits. Pop this baby up. Let it rain, 'cause it's the only thing it's gonna stop. Keeps you dry, but your tank's still smoking. Billy Bob's. You don't want it, but we got it. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Just wanted you all to know we're filling up the tanks and getting ready to roll out with a new line to solve all your problems and mine. Man, they say my Grandpappy Zhang was third world. Wait till you see these. Light tanks with heavy guns, heavy tanks with light guns. How about a solid tank with a super gun? Special one-shot kill capabilities. Super scope so you can find all your enemies and friends on the field. Armor so strong, 20 tanks can't stop it. Sounds great, right? You like it, I like it, let's make a deal. Billy Bob's, your new tank supplier. Tank's never gonna be built or supplied. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob's, you know who it is. My cousin Cletus was telling me you get tired of seeing all them old sprockets on the T-54. Want some bling on those old tracks? Billy Bob Hubs. Only 3,600 credits. You get some bling and a lift for your tank. Watch things go under while you track over. Billy Bob's, we bring styles to tanks. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob surplus tanks. You tired of all those tanks from Zhang? Don't like the way they sneak in, blow you up? Billy Bob's, we have all your bolt-on armor. Prices may vary. Not available in any countries, nations, on or off this dwarf planet. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. I'd just like to thank those guys over at Gorlon's Armory and Armored Warfare for making it so easy to hijack their signal. Sell my wares. Just like my Grandpappy Zhang used to say, son, if you can't marry a wolf, buy a shishkin. And if that's too much, call Billy Bob's for all your tank needs. Billy Bob, tank supplies. All shipping handled through Puro Express. Wait times vary from never to not going to get it.
Alright, and we're here. You can see the Lost Island map right here. The circles define the spawn points for both teams. And here we had the red team. They had their main battle tanks push up through the center of the map, while the scouts went around the north side trying to pull in a flank. Whereas the 8th Canadian Hussars also pushed into the center of the map, and then they had their scouts and tank destroyers come around this way. And I think, Strebius, the deciding factor of this match was the fact that the scouts from the red team were not able to get back in time to do a lot of damage, whereas the scouts from the 8th Canadian Hussars were able to cut in a lot faster right there, or even around, whereas this side is completely blocked off from the red team's scouts, and that just made the difference.
Yeah, there's no shortcut from the north. Once you come in on the north side and commit to that, you're going all the way around to get back into the middle, because you got that big cliff going down into the water,
right?
And there's no shortcut there. So that was a difficult approach, and I agree with you. I think those scouts going north cost them substantially, and may have even been the deciding factor in the game.
It may have been. I think a better way to do it, instead of sending them all around the northern side, if you were going to send them north, not to send them in through that water, I would send my scouts, I think, right through here, coming around that way, or even cutting off right through here and trying to take a shortcut up here.
Well, you know, the downside to both of those approaches, good, But the downside is they don't see what's going on up in that north line.
No, they miss it completely.
And so somebody could go around them. But the north flank is a difficult flank, and we really haven't seen the north come into play
Not in the leagues we have.
in the leagues. Now
In random battles, it's usually where the main battle tanks go to disco, but that's about it.
yeah, I like that. Go to disco. That's cool. But the north in the leagues has really been out of play. We've seen a lot of battles in the south where it's wide open. We've seen some battles in the middle, but we've rarely seen anything. I mean, there's been one, maybe two that I can recall where everybody went north and the battle was north.
Right.
We've seen one team go north and one team go south as they circle each other. You know, kind of doing a ring around the rosies thing, but beyond that, there's just nothing there. So it was a really good battle. It stayed close the whole time.
It did. It was tit for tat the whole way, and I think if the red team had had their other tank in, I think that could have been a deciding factor. I think it could have made a difference.
It could be, and it still looks like they're going to be down a tank. So that'll be interesting to see what happens.
It will indeed.
So yeah, that was a very good battle. Well played by both teams. Hat goes off a little bit to the red team for staying with it beside being down.
Right.
They didn't throw the flag and say, okay, well, we're going to forfeit. Well, let's battle anyways.
I don't think anybody would, is if you have the chance to forfeit or try. I would try all the way, because if you forfeit, you lose. And if you try, there's a shot that you can win.
Yeah, you have
Slim
at least
as it may be.
Slim as it may be. And, you know, these guys entering these things are highly competitive.
They are.
These are not people that are just going to give up and walk away.
These are people.
So-
I believe that the players in the leagues are usually in the top third of teams in random battles of their own team.
I can see that. I can see that very easily. And that would be, yeah, I can see that. Well, it's the top teams in the league. I'm not so sure about some of the
The
bottom
well,
teams
it
in
takes
the
you a little while to
league.
get there to work out your team and everything.
So while we have just a minute, we would like to send out thanks to the My.com staff and the Obsidian Entertainment team for helping us put these together. There have been changes in the observer mode that have been highly helpful, and we really appreciate what they've done on our behalf for that. We also like to send out thanks to Armored Warfare Leagues. They're the ones who put all this on. They make the whole thing possible. They are not paid or compensated in any way for doing this, and that is just something that's really exciting to see, and we fully support them for that. Our thanks also go out to AW Tactics for putting together these wonderful maps that we use for us to show all these crazy red lines that Raux likes to draw all over the place.
Hey, it's a picture of my brain. That's what it is.
Finally, we would like to send out thanks to the Gorlon's Army team and staff. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is not just Raux and I. There are actually 6 people that make this whole thing happen. We have over on managing the chat and moderating all of that is Bullets. Camera number 1 is Luna Knight. Camera number 2 is Care Bear. Running the booth and making sure that everything goes smooth is Grindley.
That or leading the coup d'etat, one of the two.
Yeah. And then supporting him in the booth and helping him make sure that everything goes smoothly is Tank Blaster.
Also, the voice of Billy Bob.
Also the voice of Billy Bob, something we would be deadly sore without. And next to that, of course, I have Raux. And finally, there is me. I am Cerebius. What would they... And Cerebius likes to show you the rest of something else.
Yes, Cerebius does.
So I'm going to take full credit for Raux's mistake there, but that was funny, and
yeah,
we'll all laugh at Raux. Grinley is now slapping him, and Tank Blaster is holding him down. So that worked out really well, and I think they're threatening to fight him later. So we're moving on to the battle on the screen.
2 minutes till our next match.
2 minutes till our next match. So given that, I think we'll let you be entertained with a little bit of a highlight reel. Do we have a highlight of one of the tanks that we might be able to get to? We tried putting some of these together. And yeah, here we go. Here is a highlight of some of the tanks that are being played tonight. The T-64 main battle tank is the current favorite in the Soldier of Fortune League, given its well-roundedness when compared to the other main battle tanks of the same tier. With the second highest penetrating gun of the Tier 4 main battle tank group, the Starship's 152 millimeter gun being the highest penetrating, the aim time, accuracy, and fire rate gives it a much higher damage per minute rate than all the rest of the Tier 4 main battle tanks. The gun, while very good, is not the only attraction for the leaders of the teams. Another attraction is the armor and mobility, which are both very good. The armor at the front being 255 millimeters of raw thickness. This armor is also highly sloped, which gives it an effective thickness of around 400 millimeters. The mobility of the T-64 in a straight line is an acceptable 61 kilometers per hour, and while the agility of this vehicle is quite low, the damage per minute, thick armor, and fast speed all make up for this shortcoming. The T-64 is best played in a hold-down, frontline position, absorbing damage and hitting the opponents for all they're worth. The T-64 has not gone completely uncontested as the main battle tank of choice, as some have chosen instead to use the Type 69 Mark II for a slightly better gun handling, explosive reactive armor, and smoke grenades, that the T-64 is just not equipped with. Only time will tell which main battle tank will become the king of the Soldier of Fortune League.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bobs. Don't like that Starship? Give us a call. We'll send you a brand new crew, complete with Vulcan gunner. Set phases to sun, arm all photon torpedoes. Oh, wait, we can't send that thing into orbit, but we can sell you some labors. Billy Bobs, we get things done. Vulcan's not included. Woo.
Okay, and welcome back, everyone. We are on Lost Island.
Yet again.
And the teams will have switched sides now. So we will see that we have...
The red team being the red team.
Yes, the red team is red, and they have spawned on the west. And the blue team, the 8th Canadians, are blue, and they have spawned on the east. So I don't see any changes in tanks. Well, I take that back. Red brought 2 Lab 300s. They've dropped the XM800T.
Right, which I think is a good choice. The Lab 300, being down a tank, they can't afford to be missing that gun. And because the Lab 300s have better guns, I think it's a good choice to drop the XM800T, because the Lab 300s still have the vision range and mobility and can act as pseudo scouts.
Yeah, I think if I was going to go down a tank, that would be the tank that I would prefer to be down by.
Yeah, it is the XM800T. And it's a BMD-1 that the Canadians have chosen. They've got a BMD-1 and 2 Lab 300s. So aside from the BMD-1, the teams are completely identical.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have another great match.
We are, and it looks like both teams are moving southern-ish. We have the red team pushing quite southern with a lot of their main battle tanks, a couple of them staying in the middle to prevent a Tar Rush fast cap, and we have most of the 8th Canadian Hussars pushing up into the cap circle with the BMD-1 scouting far, far south to make sure he sees everything and nothing sneaky happens. Maybe he's going to fire a couple missiles off to stop those T-64s from doing anything silly, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like the Lab 300s may have spotted each other as they did engage for... They saw each other and seemed to have backed off for just a little bit. We'll see if that holds or if that was just me kind of fazionizing. And there it is. The red team has pushed it now. They're in the cap circle saying, come get me if you can.
Which I don't know if is the best choice for the red team. They're down a tank, and doing that just means the enemy know exactly where they are and can push in.
This is a really difficult cap circle to defend, and you've got to be in there forever.
You do, but the best tank at holding this cap circle, I think, are the T-64s. They can get hold down behind that airplane and just destroy everything.
If they don't get flanked, yeah.
If they don't get flanked, you can see the Lab 300s down there trying to do as we come back to the capsule in the epic fight. And here we can see the 8th Canadian Hussars, Bullet 1379 there, doing a great job at taking off a position that can contest the hold down plane area and fire shots into the side, which is a very good position. You can see that they've reset the cap and they now have tanks in the cap contesting it and having the counter count in their favor, as it were.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily counting in their favor, but it's not counting against them anymore as both teams are neutral in the cap.
Yeah, it's been stalemated. And here we can have the 8th Canadians. They're pushing in and they're going after the T-64s, pushing them out of the cap circle. It looks like they're all piling up for one big push before they go in, while the BMD-1 and Lab 300 are knocking out the lone Lab 300 from the red team down in the south, which could prove to be devastating for the red team.
And there's a pretty face right there. Some good knife fighting going on as the 8th Canadians and the red team engage each other face to face. Although
both sides are dead. They're both pulled down behind that plane, so they can't hurt each other.
yeah. So it's an interesting position to be in that you can stare at each other and say cheese, but
you
really
can't shoot. You don't have the gun depression to shoot the side. And there's no weak spots that you can really hit, especially if you're moving around as much as they are. You can't hit the reliably, so they're just firing rounds at other opponents that they can hit. And here you have a T-64 trying to push you out and get...
he's definitely going to get a
yeah,
shot
he's
in the
gonna...
side
Yeah,
for
there
sure.
he is. He's about to go down, I think. Oh, and he misses!
Oh,
Don't know how!
you know,
But-
I've had that happen to me so many times in match.
where the tank just pulls back, just that little hair, and it bounces off their
It
front.
bounces off, or I get critical track damage. It seems to happen mostly when I'm in third party, or you know, when I'm looking at it from the third person point of view.
Right.
Not when I'm in the snipe camera. There's a nice battle going on by the lap
Yeah,
300.
good job. I think that the blue lap 300 just
Oh!
exploded, but they both delivered shots. The red one would have died, but it lasted for 2 health.
Yeah.
Curse those low damage rolls.
Dang that low damage roll. And the teams are at 3-2.
Again, even, but the red team's lack of a man is really hurting them here.
Is
They're
really hurting them
They're
here.
just getting taken every time.
Yeah, and now they're down to just one tank.
And it's on 2 health, and I don't see him winning this against 2 T-64s.
No, and
Nope,
there goes his
there he
turret
goes.
flying through the air as he gets obliterated there. So again, 8th Canadian taking another win, and that takes us
Again,
to...
a close win, and one tank could have helped the red team win that one.
I have to agree with you. I really have to. I think these would have been... I don't know if the outcome would have been different.
Want to live the American dream? Have the power of the M1A2 at your fingertips? Is Wolfie just too much to deal with? Come to Billy Bob's. We just acquired a gaggle of the all-new M1B4. These new premium American tanks are fresh from our warehouses. Drive the power. Intimidate your friends. Be the man or woman as appropriate. This is all yours for one low price of 19.9 million credits. But wait, there's more. Including this deal is a complete list of all the parts you will need. Still not enough? I will include at no additional charge a complete list of the tools you will need to assemble it. Log in now. Purchase yours today. All parts, tools, and labor must be supplied by you.
The BMD-1 Tier 4 Soviet Armored Fighting Vehicle, which is currently the leading choice of AFV for the battalions and PMCs taking part in the Armored Warfare Soldier of Fortune League. The BMD-1 is equipped with 2 weapon systems, the main one being its 73mm smoothbore gun, which is capable of dealing 325 average damage per shot. The BMD-1 also has its fixed-in-place 127mm anti-tank guided missile launcher mounted above the turret, which is capable of guiding shape-charged munitions to its target to deliver a payload of 406 damage on impact. As with most AFVs, the BMD has next to no armor and instead relies on its camouflage, view range, and mobility to keep it alive during the heat of battle. The BMD is usually played in a passive, scouting/harassing role, staying in the back to preserve its hit points until the end of battle when it can rush forward and eliminate targets that are already engaged, and, for the most part, avoid getting hit. While the BMD is the current favorite of most of the PMCs/battalions, there are a few who prefer to use the American XM800T for the scouting role, as it performs better in a knife fight against other AFVs and can thus be counted on to usually eliminate the opponent's scout. It has taken a backseat, however, due to its inability to harm MBTs with its low penetration on its 20mm cannon.
Woo, doggy! Billy Bob Surplus Tanks. Does your Fox have traction issues? Does it spin as fast as the wheels? Come to Billy Bob's. We have in stock right now the all-new Fox Slips. These bad boys are as smooth as a baby's butts, guaranteed to apply the maximum amount of rubber to the road, mud, snow, grass, whatever. You will spin to win. Your battalion will call you slick. Log on now and get yours today. Delivery only guaranteed on Pluto, and all others must wait. Woo, doggy! Billy Bob's here. You tired of getting hit when you sneak in a peek? Billy Bob's pop-up periscope. You pop it up, see what's happening. Then you can get your shots in when it counts. No hits on you, out shots on them. Man, this is something we need. Down pop-up periscope, on to the next tank. Pop-up periscope is just cardboard with 2 mirrors, all supplied by you. Some assembly is going to be required.
All right, and here we are back in the garage here to talk about some of the teams and everything else.
Oh, the overlay.
And it looks like that due to the UI changes in 0.15, we're having some problems here in the garage.
The overlay doesn't quite fit. And that's my fault. That's Cerebius' fault. I'll take full credit for that. I'm sorry, but
We're 1-1 now. We're tied.
yeah, we're 1-1.
All right, but the thing is, Cerebius, in these leagues, okay, everything's a lot more, how should I put this, accurate, okay? The slightest problem is going to show up as a much bigger problem. For instance, if you're in a random match and one team is down 1 tank, okay, you are not going to see a big deficiency. It's pretty close still, with one side having a slight advantage. Here in the leagues, however, with the teams being so competitive on comms and following each other, that one tank, I think, has led the red team to win. To lose both of these matches, even though they've played incredibly well, it's really hurting them, I think. What do you think?
You know, I don't know if it would have changed the outcome. Okay, but I think the games would have been both matches would have been substantially closer. Yeah, they could have won, they could have lost. I don't know. The matches were really close. That one extra tank would have made a difference. Like you said, you're on comms. These guys are playing at a higher level. They're playing together. They play together during the week, so they practice together.
They know what each other are going to do. They know how to cover one's back, and they know what positions they all like.
Right. So, given all of that, you know, I don't know. I know that the other tank would have made a difference. Whether or not it would have resulted in a win for the red team, I don't know. But I think their opportunities would have been more, and the potential of a win would be substantially higher if they had that extra man.
Yep. And both teams are starting to ready up again. But I think it's Port Storm now, which is where we saw the famous Tar Rush.
Yes, we did see the Tar Rush and its famousness.
Do you think that the red team would pull one of those off? They're down a tank.
Okay, so the Tar Rush succeeded because of several factors. One, they took in tanks that had cap bonuses.
Right.
So they took 3 of them straight in. So they dramatically reduced the cap time by having 3 tanks in the cap circle and each tank bringing a bonus.
And probably having a commander and retrofits designed to just increase that cap speed.
Yes, to increase that cap speed. So could the red team pull it off? Sure they could. Anybody could. Okay, 3 tanks into the cap circle and the others to defend is a very viable solution. Now we're going to switch. We're going to go from encounter mode to standard mode.
Right, which you can't do the Tar Rush on.
No, doing the Tar Rush in standard mode isn't going to work. So doing that in Port Storm, they would have to go completely around the opponent team and get to their base.
And hope nothing stops them.
And hope nothing stops them and they don't lose any tanks. It would be incredibly difficult. Not impossible, because nothing is impossible in these matches.
Right, just incredibly difficult.
Just incredibly difficult, yes. So it appears as though there's a little bit of a challenge as they're trying to get their teams to ready up. So I expect that to be resolved here shortly.
Right.
They will not change sides because they changed maps.
Okay. So the red team is still the red team.
The red team will still be the red team.
Very nice.
The 8th Canadian will be the blue team. Because they change maps, you don't change sides. So every game there's a change, and you're either changing sides or you're changing maps.
Got it.
And that's the way that works.
Now, what I think is going to be interesting is I think we're going to see another middle fight. Okay, we can see a lot of T-64s here. Not all of the T-64s, but we can see a Lab 300 and a Sheridan. It looks like maybe. But it looks like the red team is bringing T-64s and a BMD-1 as their scout, which says to me that they're going for a middle fight.
Yeah,
with main battle tanks.
Yeah, I think they're accepting the fact that they don't have. They're willing to lose eyes and go into that with more armor.
Right.
And I think that's smart on their part.
I think it can work on Port Storm because you have that big hill blocking off the side, so you can't get as many good flanks, and vision is not as important in that port area.
Well, you know, the thing we've seen with Port Storm is the hill. The team that spawns on the north gets the hill, controls the hill,
and has a significant advantage.
And it seems to have a significant advantage when they get and control that hill
properly.
Whether Port Storm is encounter or whether Port Storm is standard doesn't seem to make a difference. Holding that hill is huge to the success of winning the match.
Which I personally think is down to you have vision range, you can see everywhere, and you can fire on everything, but you can also be shot at from everywhere, Cerebius. So what do you think of the pros and cons of that position, being able to be shot at from anywhere or being able to fire at everything? Which one do you think is the better to have?
Well, you know, the downside is if you can get a scout in there with high vision range lighting them up, you can have your big gun shooting at them. They can't even see them.
Right.
You know, but that takes coordination, which they have. They're on comms. And a lot of skill on your scout to stay alive and keep everybody visible.
Which is a very difficult role to play, the scout. Probably one of the more difficult roles to play in the game is you have to see everything without being seen. And if you are seen and you have to fight, you're down armor and gun.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge to do that, but you could do it. You could succeed in that environment with that capability if you're very careful and skilled.
Which these teams are.
They are. So it could work, but it is going to be a very difficult. I don't care how good your team is. That's
A very difficult thing to play and pull off simply because of how high tiered the other team is as well. You're playing against another very careful, very solid team and composition. So and they're thinking, these aren't bots you're fighting, so they could try something completely unexpected and just blow you out of the water.
They could.
Or vice versa.
And speaking of unexpected, the 8th Canadian Hussars are bringing a Sheridan.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The Sheridan can be good. It's got a really nasty gun and it's very quick.
It does have a really nasty gun, and it is very quick.
The problem is hitting something with said gun.
Yeah, that gun's got an aiming circle that's typically bigger than most tanks at 100 meters.
Right. What I think they're going to do with it, I think they're going to send it around the outside, okay? Because notice the 8th Canadians are the ones, and they switch out the Sheridan, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Okay, never mind.
No, wait. They got it. It's just not on the overlay. It's cut off. So they have the Sheridan, and it looks like the match is going to be rolling soon, but I think they're going to send the Sheridan out around the south, come in behind, and just derp them right in the back and knock out those engines and get those engine fires.
There we go. You're awesome. Yeah, it could be... I don't know. That Sheridan throws... I don't think we have seen a Sheridan in the meta
I don't think so.
ever.
I don't think
Definitely
so.
not on Port Storm. I don't think we've seen it in the league yet. So this will be very interesting to see. It's kind
Seeing
of exciting,
somebody load
actually.
in there as they bounce around. That's what
Yes,
it is.
as
Just
they
loaded
bounce
in.
around.
We loaded in earlier than the team. Very nice.
Yep.
And he spawned way in the back.
Yeah, he did. What's up with that?
He is the Dumbo of the elephant herd.
I guess. I don't know. You go sit in the corner.
We don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
Here we can see an awesome gold paint job that Arthur Dent has on his BMD1. Very nice looking.
Very nice. Very nice. So the match starts in 7 seconds. We're in standard mode. We have the red team in red, thank goodness, spawning on the north.
Taking all T-64s and one BMD1, so they only have one pair of eyes and the rest of it is armor. While the 8th Canadians have taken a little more liberal role, they have less T-64s, but they also have a Lab 300 and a Sheridan. So they're essentially down one T-64. And that's about it. But they're also up a tank due to the Lab 300 advantage, which I think is very interesting.
The Lab 300s are amazing little tanks.
They are. They're quick.
We have seen them in every match since the beginning,
Right.
which has got to say something about what they are and what they can do.
And here we have the Lab 300s from the 8th Canadians taking the hill, trying to get the hill before the red team can. And the red team has omitted the quick hill strategy. They were close to the hill, but they forewent it. I think that's how you say that properly.
They foregone their opportunity there. That's an interesting strategy that we're seeing them play.
But wait, you can see this T-64 is going to push right out, and this Lab 300s and the Sheridan might just nail them. I've been in this position before, and you can nail those T-64s as they come across. They might take early damage, which could be huge to the 8th Canadians' advantage. But we can see the Sheridan missed his shot completely there. It looks like the Lab 300 probably had a little too little lead on his target and missed as well.
But they were there trying to take that shot.
Oh, I
which was
take
good
that back.
play
It
for
looks
them.
like one of the T-64s has taken hits. It was Soldier Boy 92 who took hits as he came across. Looks like he took one hit from I think it's a Lab 300 that sent that shot at him.
Yeah, hard to say for sure. That it could have been. It could have been.
It
any
could have
of
been
them.
either. And we can see that the red team and the 8th Canadians are kind of circling each other, with the red team coming around and circling in the 8th Canadians' main battle tanks.
So is the red team gonna push for a cap? This is an interesting strategy they're going for. I kind of like it.
If they push for a cap, this is a very hilly map. And because it's hilly, you can hide your lower plate weak spot.
But they're not in the hills. They're in
no,
the alleys.
that's where the cap circle is.
The cap circle's in the hill, yeah. But
So they're going to go for a cap. They can sit in hold down positions and bounce shots. But they've got to get around that Lab 300 who's going to get their positions away.
Yeah, they've got to get around that. And so that's very interesting as to what's going on there.
And here we're going to have Bolt 1379 again, a star of tonight, running away from all the bad main battle tanks down in the south. He's like, nope, I'm out of here, guys. See you later. And we have the Sheridan and the BMD-4, or the LAV 300. LAV 300 up on that hill, knocking out the BMD-1. The BMD-1 just went down, I think, or...
No, he's still in it. He's still in it. Oh, no, he's down. Okay, my mistake. He's still showing up on the mini-map, and I wasn't expecting that.
Bugs in custom matches. What are you going to do? Here we have Bolt 1379 making a very clean getaway, and it looks like the red team is now completely split, which is not good for them, as they are down 2 tanks right now.
They can make this work.
They can't.
If they can draw in the 8th Canadians into a center position and flank them, they could make this work.
They could, but if Soldier Boy gets hit by even an HE shell, he's going to explode. And that'll bring him down another tank. And once you're down 2 tanks, you're usually lost. And because they're already down a tank and then they lost one, they're down 2 tanks. So the chances of them coming back from this are very slim, I think.
Yeah, he better hope his crew does not have flatulence issues right now, because it might take his tank completely out of it. The look on Raux's face when I said that was so worth the sentence, everyone. I just want to say that up front.
Yep, and it looks like Soldier Boy is about to go down fighting here, firing his gun and remembering because there it goes, explosions of glory.
Yeah.
And here we have Bullet 1379 taking an outside position, and we also have Red Rupture.
Yeah,
Red Rapture.
This is really hard now, because the red team has lost 2 tanks.
And they're already down 1, so essentially they're down 3.
They're down 3, yeah. This is a really difficult position. This is not impossible, but it's going to be
pretty
hard.
close.
It's going to be really hard for them.
Oh, and the red team pulls... They pull it back and kill, but it looks like the 8th Canadians are just YOLOing right in and knocking them out and getting the surrounds on, which they should be doing right now. And I don't see the red team coming back, or the red Canadians, as I called them.
No, the red team, I think, is going to suffer as another one goes down. They are literally outnumbered 3 to 1. And surrounded. Yeah, it is really difficult to take on 3 tanks when those 3 tanks are coordinated on comms. You could get away with it. I mean, we've seen plenty of highlight reels from World of Tanks and Armored Warfare that show this one guy
one weasel taking on 5 tanks. That's not happening in the leagues.
That's not happening here, because everybody's on comms. They're just going to gang up on them and end the match.
Yep.
So they are together. That's smart of them. I think that's intelligent play there.
There's only one left. The mini-map's fooling you.
All right. Never mind.
The mini-map's broken.
All right, he has consolidated himself into a single position.
And he exploded in that position, defending it to the last shell in his tank. Well done, sir. I salute you.
Well done, yes.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bob surplus tanks. We got all the things you need so you can quit losing. You tired of being turned into a rubble of heap? Come on down to Billy Bob's. We got more armor. You like armor? We like guns. We'll sell them both. Bolt-on accessories included. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. You like the Striker missile boat? So do I. You tired of always running out of ammo? Me too. Well, I've gone and done it again. The Striker missile boat piggyback. You tow it behind you. When you need more ammo, get out and reload. Then the Striker missile boat piggyback. It carries all those little extras you need and want. It carries the load till you explode. Trailer will explode when hit. So will you. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob surplus armor. You like the LAV 150? Tired of small guns? Billy Bob's. We have bolt-on cannons. As long as you bolt it on, it will take pictures. You know we love to take care of you. Billy Bob's, home of the surplus armor and bolt-ons. Give us a call. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Mark 6 for you. Got all the shot power covered, but you lacking speed? Turret turning a little slow? Man, I've got it. Billy Bob's Quick Lube. Only 48,000 credits. Get that turret twisting, those tracks are rolling. Guaranteed to pick it up by 38%. Even helps with reloads. Billy Bob's Quick Lubes. Wish this product was real. Never going to be made. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. You getting heated with all those little tanks come in, steal your shot? Move in so fast like that's at a picnic. Ooh-wee, I got just the thing for you. Pests be gone. One spray of this, they'll fall over in their tracks. Pests be gone. No more snapping on your snacks till they pick themselves back up. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob's here. Tired of all that ice making your tank slip and slide around? you need Billy Bob's anti-slip and grip pellets. Just one bag of this, you'll get all the grip you've ever needed. Climb anything, climb anywhere. Never slide back, just tank forward. Billy Bob's, we get you there. Anti-slip and grip pellets only available on Neptune.
Raux, do you know what's going to happen immediately following this match?
Spontaneous combustion by myself.
Yes, we're going to light you on fire. And then then we're going to give away free stuff.
You're going to wish you were as hot as me when I'm on fire.
Yeah, I can't keep up with you that way. You are the king of hotness.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay, now we got that worked out. Yeah, we are going to give away free stuff.
Ooh, I like free stuff.
Yeah, we are giving away a premium Chinese tank, the WZ-1224. And we are giving away the only way to get it, the Chieftain Mark 6 liter,
which has special camouflage straight from Billy Bob himself.
Yes, if you can get it as shipping goes through Pluto. So
here it comes Express these days.
Yeah, Billy Bob's version of Express is not something I would want to participate in personally. So you can get either one of those, but to do it, you've got to sign up for the raffles.
Right.
And to sign up for the raffles, real easy. There's a link in the chat. If it's not there right now,
it will be there soon.
It will be there soon.
And you can request it.
And you can request it, and it may have been there just a little bit ago. So scroll up a little bit, and you might find it. We will do those raffles immediately following, and we will announce them live right after the matches.
Also, the winners will receive their codes about 30 minutes to an hour after they've been called. Just a heads up to give us some time for failback there, guys.
Yeah, it takes about an hour for us to get the codes put together. We got tracking stuff that tracks all of it, and it's a mess.
It's work.
Yeah, it takes some work. So if you are a winner, if we announce you as a winner, you will get your code about an hour after we go into that.
If it's late by 24 hours, go ahead and email Raux@GorlonsArmy.com, and I will make sure to get it sorted out for you.
And he will. Raux is right on top of that type of stuff. So here we are. We're back, and it doesn't look like the teams are changing the meta. They still have a Sheridan.
You say that like it's a sin of humanity. Sheridan.
Oh my gosh, they got a Sheridan.
Hell.
Yes. Your tank has no tracks.
It's not a tank. A Ford Fiesta is more of a tank than you.
I just struggle with this one. The gun on that tank is...
It's a shotgun. Let's just get out of the way. It's a shotgun.
It's a close range gun.
It's a blunderbuss.
And the tank's got no armor. You can't snipe with it.
Well, you can. Success is limited, but you can.
Yeah. Okay. So 1 shot in 10 is going to completely miss. 3 shots in 10 are going to hit somewhere you didn't want. And the other 6 shots might
blow the tracks off of your target.
Yes. More likely than not, you will do critical track damage, which I can tell you when I'm playing, that is the one thing I don't want to see ever.
Sarabius doesn't like the Sheridan.
Really?
If you couldn't tell.
Really? You couldn't tell that? You have to tell people this?
Hey, listen. Back in the early access days, when I was playing Sheridan Hardcore, I had the accuracy down to like 0.02. And so I'd be sitting 600 meters away, fire a shot, and just completely nuke a guy, and it was amazing.
That's not the Sheridan that's available now.
Hey, don't ruin my dreams.
I'm not going to ruin your dreams. Reality is. The Sheridan that's available now might hit the broadside of a barn from 50 meters.
Or from the inside. I was going to say inside.
It might hit the side of the barn from inside of it, yes. Okay. You could potentially go through a window. And if there is a window, odds are you will go through that window. Just because you're in the Sheridan. So it's fascinating to me that the 8th Canadians want to bring a Sheridan.
This straight from Billy Bob coming in the pipe, soon to be released, is the Sheridan Super Shot Enhancer.
I can't wait to see what Billy Bob dreams up for that. It should be fun and exciting. So, getting off of the Sheridan topic now, because we beat the living daylights out of it.
Oh, we can hit it some more.
No, I don't think we need to hit it anymore. Okay, so we're back.
Let's
We're-
talk about your next favorite tank, the Starship.
Nobody's got one. So on this, they're going to come back. They're going to be Port Storm. They're going to switch sides.
Right.
So the 8th will have the north, which gives them easy access to the hill. They
Right.
went to the hill anyways. How do you think that impacts the game? Because in this case, the red team went away from the hill. They stayed completely away from it.
And they lost.
Yeah, they still lost. So again, that holds. If you control the hill,
You control the game. You win.
8 Canadians did.
You get that, you win.
Then you win. And they
Eh,
did, and they won, even though the red team went nowhere near the hill.
Well, I think it went down to Soldier Boy taking those shots early on, where you had the Sheridan and the Lab 300 sitting up there taking pot shots at the T-64s, and it did damage early on, which I think may have changed the late game.
Yeah, anytime you're taking damage is going to change the late game.
Early in the game, I think. is more.
especially when you're not returning fire to take more damage. Now, I don't recall. I'm sure you know this off the top of your heads, Raux. The T-64 does not have smoke, does it?
No.
So they really
Type 69 Mark II does, though.
Yeah, well, they didn't take Type 69 Mark IIs. They took T-64s. So they really couldn't have protected that, because that's the only thing they could have done, I think, better would have been to pop some smoke as everybody was going through there.
Right.
Just to make sure that they didn't do that. And
Oh,
we're-
wait. Just in. The red team has another tank. They're it. They're even.
They did it!
Grinley being the mime over there, giving us all the news, not saying a word.
Yeah, that was interesting, by the way, watching Grinley jumping
Dance
up and
around.
down. Yes.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Grinley, for the heads up on that. They do have an 8th tank now. Do you still bring the Sheridan?
Yes, they do. It's 7, not 8, Streeb, yes. 7
Fine.
versus 7.
It's the 8th Canadians, all right, just like it's the red Canadians, all right, 8 teams.
Hey, Canadians can have red hair, okay? It can happen.
I don't even want to see that visual in my mind. Thank you for sharing. Please don't.
Grinley's dying just as I am.
I'm dying too, and I'm the one who saw that.
10 seconds until we're in the match.
Good. Thank goodness. So, with the 10-second countdown, I don't think they're going to change out the Sheridan. If I had seen a 7 guy coming in, I probably would have changed out the Sheridan. Being up a tank gives you some liberties. Being evenly matched, you don't have them anymore.
What I would do is I would trade out, if the enemy team had a Sheridan, I would bring in Type 69 Mark IIs. And the reason for that is the Sheridan only fires shaped charges. Type 69 Mark II gets explosive reactive armor at tier 4.
Yeah, tier 4. So we
And
have,
smoke grenades.
and keep in mind, everyone, the red team is in blue. So,
And has a lot of T-64s.
yeah, a lot of T-64s. This should be a very, very interesting match, as they have very little scouting capability, but a whole lot of gunfire.
Right. They have the red team has the advantage in armor, gun, and hit points. They can just soak up way more damage. Which
can.
the Sheridan can go ahead and be a hero and take that damage and even out it, I think. Maybe. If it hits something.
The Sheridan doesn't have that many hit points or armor.
No,
to
it's
take
gun.
those-
Its gun can balance it. Lots of
If
damage.
it hits something, yes.
That's what I said!
Sorry, I missed that part. You were talking, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I see how valued I am. I'm just gonna leave right now.
Fine. Be that way. See if I care. Okay, they've started, and thank goodness we are saved by that.
Saved by the bell. And
All
it
right.
looks like the red team.
The 8th Canadians are pushing the hill, and they're pushing it hard.
Well,
And
yeah,
that-
because
that
so
is a
far,
good-
if you're on the hill, you win. Why wouldn't you push the hill?
I can't see why they wouldn't. So this will be interesting to see how it plays out. Those T-64s are staying together, which I think is intelligent because
Yep.
they can focus fire.
And they can trade armor. One can pull forward and the other can pull back, making it harder to hit the one on lower health.
Yep.
And keep the gun in the game longer. We have the BMD-1 here, the Dent Arthur Dent, pushing out into the fields to see what he can see. And it looks like it's going to be a big old fight on the hill.
It is going to be a
Looking at the
really
mini-map,
big fight on the hill.
Everybody's going to fight on a hill.
Maybe we can watch the fight. There we go. We get to
There
watch
we go.
the
We
fight
got to
on
watch
the
the
hill.
fight on a hill.
Okay.
Alrighty, here's Soldier Boy 92 up there leading the charge of the T-64s. And they're just going up the hill. Here he is, Soldier Boy 92.
This is going to be a bring your own bullet battle, folks.
It is, but notice that the 8th Canadians have taken some of their team off the hill, while the red team is just going all hill.
Yeah, well, you control the hill, you win.
Right, and here they go. We're about to find out if that holds water or not. So far, it does.
Yeah, so far it does. And it looks like the 8th Canadians are going to give the hill up. They saw the mighty T-64 train and have left. Interesting position they're in now. They can't really shoot up. They're trying, but
Right, but the rocks are blocking the shots, which is good for the red team. And the red team, again, have their extra tank now. And they have the hill. I think the red team might take this one home.
You could be right. I don't know. We'll see how they play. Both teams play very well.
But they do.
They play very well. So now it's going to be a matter of how everybody adapts to the meta that just changed really big, and we'll see how that goes.
And right now we have the staring contest of doom.
Yes.
And shots being fired into the rock as they try to hit Mr. Bluefire. I think that's a 22. Yes, Bluefire 22.
Yeah, so you know what I think would be really cool? Okay, and certainly this would be really difficult, so I don't expect it to happen. But it'd be really cool if when the rocks got shot, you saw chunks of rocks fly like they do, but then some of the rock disappeared, so the cover kind of just got whittled down.
Right.
You could actually shoot someone out of their cover.
Right. I don't think a lot of people would do it, but here we go.
I don't think we'd see that actually happen. But there's some fire being traded.
Oh, and it looks like the BMD4 is about the BMD1, not 4, is going to be knocked out by the Lap 300 and Sheridan from the 8th Canadians. They're down there in the south. Here's the knife fight for you live, and I don't think the Dentars or Dent will make it out of this one. Oh,
he's trying. He's
doing good,
out.
but no. Did you see that turret go?
Oh my!
He's trying to golf with his turret.
That is one of my favorite things, by the way. Obsidian, my.com. Great call on launching turrets into the air. I think that's so awesome.
Everybody loves it. And here we go. We got the T-64 sniper here trying to hit the guys out in the woodland, but he cannot see them. That's not the woodland. That's the sandland. And he cannot see them. So he's turning around and doing something else. Looks like he's going to push into the middle.
Looks like the
inside.
red team and the red team's BMD-1 is going up against the Sheridan and Lab 300 out in the field as well.
The BMD-1's dead, Cerebius. It's the mini-map fooling you again.
Curse that mini-map.
That fight's over.
Yeah, okay. And the BMD-1 lost. Fine. Be that way. See that?
We saw his turret fly in glorious
I know we
fashion.
saw his turret fly, but for some reason I'm still seeing it on the mini-map. I thought there was a battle there. There's not.
Nope. But
I need to change my prescription.
They're not supposed to know about that.
Okay. So
the fight on the hill being intense as ever. Two tanks holding back all 5 T-64s of the red team. Good play.
And now the red team is now running into a problem as they are
surrounded.
Well, they're surrounded, but it's a narrow point. They can't get all of their tanks into play now.
Right.
Now that is good because they can rotate tanks up and spread the damage around.
But because the 8th Canadians chose to put 2 tanks up, they're not giving it up completely, but not putting pressure on it either, just kind of relaxing a little bit and having their tanks surround them on the sides and having range. That really gives them advantage in the T-64 side armor. We just see another one drop right there. And I think the 8th Canadians played this very well, not giving up the hill, contesting it just enough not to give their enemies a monopoly on it. And there another T-64 goes.
And taking advantage of the curvature in the hill to use it for cover. And the narrowness to say, well, they can only bring so many, so why have a whole bunch?
Until their guys won the fight down the 0
not
line.
Looking good for the
They got 2 T-64s left, and nobody's dead on the 8th Canadian Hussars team. A couple of them are close. They have taken a lot of damage, but they just play. I think they had a plan for the hill. I think this is a very planned strategy. And there we go.
Finally.
Grandpa there taking out Avatar of Steel, bringing glory to the red team. And there another one goes. Here's Rambo on a kill streak.
Yeah,
can he get them all?
I don't know. I don't know, but he's trying.
He is trying. That mini-map is so broken.
Do not
ignore the map. Ignore the mini-map, people. Ignore the mini-map.
It is not telling the truth right now.
And here we got Banshee 3 trying to hold the line with Grandpa. And there another one goes. They might just tie this up.
Grandpa just goes on a killing spree.
That was Banshee 3.
Was that Banshee 3?
Banshee 3 and Grandpa there. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger and we've got Rambo. And
here
on
comes
a team.
another one. There's one coming in.
And he knocks out. Banshee 3 has been taken down. Can Arnold take home the win? I'm going to call Grandpa Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, he needs to call him Grandpa. He is what he is. Oh, dangerous position there. And there he goes.
And there he goes.
Flying
well fought in the end.
Wonderful match.
Almost
Absolutely
bringing it
wonderful.
to even.
That was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Very good match.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bob Surplus Things. Want to live the American dream? Have the power of the M1A2 at your fingertips? Is Wolfie just too much to deal with? Come to Billy Bob's. We just acquired a gaggle of the all-new M1B4. These new premium American tanks are fresh from our warehouses. Drive the power, intimidate your friends. Be the man or woman as appropriate. This is all yours for one low price of 19.9 million credits. But wait, there's more. Included in this deal is a complete list of all the parts you will need. Still not enough? I will include at no additional charge a complete list of the tools you will need to assemble it. Log in now. Purchase yours today. All parts, tools, and labor must be supplied by you. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. You getting heated with all those little tanks come in, steal your shot? Move in so fast like gnats at a picnic? Ooh-wee, I got just the thing for you. Pest be gone. One spray of this, they'll fall over in their tracks. Pest be gone. No more sniping on your snacks till they pick themselves back up. Woo, doggy, Billy Bobs, you know who it is. My cousin Cletus was telling me you get tired of seeing all them old sprockets on the T-54. Want some bling on those old tracks? Billy Bob Hubs. Only 3,600 credits. You get some bling and a lift for your tank. Watch things go under while you track over. Billy Bobs, we bring styles to tanks. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Just wanted you all to know we're filling up the tanks and getting ready to roll out with a new line to solve all your problems and mine. Man, they say my Grandpappy Zhang was third world. Wait till you see these. Light tanks with heavy guns, heavy tanks with light guns. How about a solid tank with a super gun? Special one-shot kill capabilities. Super scope so you can find all your enemies and friends on the field. Armor so strong, 20 tanks can't stop it. Sounds great, right? You like it, I like it, let's make a deal. Billy Bob's, your new tank supplier. Tank's never going to be built or supplied. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob surplus tanks. You tired of all those tanks from Zhang? Don't like the way they sneak in and blow you up? Billy Bob's, we have all your bolt-on armor. Prices may vary. Not available in any countries, nations, on or off this planet.
You know what we have now, Raux?
You being a troll. That's what we have now. That's what this is.
Hey, look. You told me with 10 seconds ago I got to lead. So I'm leading, and this is what you get. Deal with it.
Fine. Be that way.
I'm talking about the free stuff.
Of course you are. That's
I
all
am.
you talk about.
That is not all I talked about. And I wasn't the one bringing up redheaded Canadians, just for the record.
They exist. You're talking about them like they're a mythical creature or something.
Yeah. With the Loch Ness Monster. And a unicorn.
Stop taking hints from Gridley. You're not allowed to use the mime to your advantage.
A Loch Ness Monster was my own. Okay. All right,
Anyway, what about the free stuff?
All right. We have free stuff. Guys, if you haven't gotten into raffles, please get into the raffles so that we can give this stuff away. Also, don't enter more than once. That will void your entry, and we hate to see that happen.
And you can enter once to the Mark 6 and once to the WZ.
Yes.
Just not twice to once.
Yes. Not twice to once.
Hey, English. English, okay?
You're a redheaded Canadian.
And I take pride in it.
So you can enter each raffle once, but you cannot enter each raffle multiple times. So please make sure that you don't do that. It really is rough when we have to disqualify people, and we've had to do that. Also, make sure that you put in your in-game name
and the primary server you play on.
Yeah, whether that's North America, Europe, or Russian. And
the Russian server's fun, by the way.
Yeah, the Russian server is fun. I've gotten to try to load that thing in 100 times and still haven't gotten it to work. So go ahead and do that, and we look forward to awarding those tanks to you afterwards. So as you can see, barely in the lower left corner of the garage, the map has changed to River Point and encounter mode.
Tar rush, tar rush, tar rush, tar rush.
They don't do a tar rush on River Point. That's Port Storm.
You can do it on River Point.
I suppose you could, but it's going to be encounter, which means the cap circle is going to be dead center of that city, and it's going to be fun. You know, the challenge with this cap circle is there's no place to hide, and everyone can shoot at you by hiding.
Yes.
So taking the cap circle, doing a
especially if you have artillery with you, but nobody's brought artillery. I would love to see the new Abbott Mark II. I'd love to see that tank. But no premiums are allowed, so we can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Premiums are
But
not
an
allowed.
M109 would do it.
No, premiums are allowed.
Not in the leagues.
Yeah, they are. Why do you think everybody brought the Chinese tanks? We saw WZs. No, we didn't see them.
No.
Never mind.
We saw Type 69 Mark IIs, which are Chinese.
More
and
proof
they are
I need to
tier
get
4.
a different prescription. Okay. So that said, I think it would be cool to see artillery come in.
I'd love to see artillery, but nobody uses it.
No, well, they're not using it in the league. People do use it in play.
Right.
Okay, but they're not using it in the league. And it would be interesting if the Sheridan was switched out to artillery. That would be a really interesting.
I think it might be more effective, to be totally honest.
Than a Sheridan? Yeah, well, at least it's more accurate.
Well, it is more accurate, and here's the thing. If you have artillery, you can just have your guys hold a really good position and just drop bombs on them all day.
Well, you can drop bombs on them. You can drop smoke to cover your guys' movements.
There aren't any illumination rounds at tier 4.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking the higher tier artillery, and apparently I am on medication.
We have
Fully established that point. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we got 6 minutes till the match begins, and River Point. Which, you know, a fun thing to do. Just speaking of higher tiered gameplay, really quick, because you made the mistake, and I'm going to segue into it. The river on River Point. If you have a BMD4, okay,
Uh-huh.
you can go really fast backwards, about 94 kilometers an hour backwards. So if you get it and you drive it through the lake, the river, and you have a 20-second drown timer, you can pop up behind everybody, launch a missile that does 1,000 damage into the back of enemy tanks, and then pop back down, and nobody ever knows you were there. I've done
Sneaky.
it. It's amazing.
That's
Until they find you.
until they find you, and then you're dead. But in the meantime, you've done damage, and missiles in the back is a big deal.
It is, because that forces them to turn around. Anyway, back
So-
to River Point. Oh, Billy Bob has English Russians for all of you guys who want to. I botched it. Billy Bob was talking to me. I blame you, Billy Bob.
Yeah, so if you want English Russians, just talk to Raux.
I
He'll be
hunt
more than
rabbits.
happy to coach you
I hunt
using
rabbits.
the
I hunt
new Billy
rabbits.
Bob English lessons and vocabulary and dictionary system,
I hunt wabbits.
where you can learn words like doggy.
And if I got a deal for you.
You could become related to Chan somehow. Still not sure how that works.
Wait, related to who?
Chan, the dealer.
That's Zhang Feng.
Yeah, Chan, the dealer.
We are so tired. I'm gonna blame this on lack of sleep. We got 4 minutes to go.
We've got 4 minutes. Then, okay, to everyone who's listening, we apologize wholeheartedly. But right now, the whole room is laughing. So if you're not having fun, I'm sorry, but we're having a blast. And deal with it because, it's a lot of fun. No, we got more Billy Bob stuff.
Woo doggy, Billy Bob here. We was thinking about what Seabrius was saying, and you can come on down to Billy Bob's pharmacy. We can get you some of them forget-me-not pills. Helps you keep thinking about nothing. Or we can get together and think about the twice to once maker taker. You think about it twice and maybe we make a deal and you take it home. We don't know, but it's all good because it works for Billy Bob. Thank you folks for being here tonight. We love it. Bye.
Okay, I guess I changed my prescription now.
Maybe Billy Bob had it in the first place and just changed the container. We don't know.
Okay, but what does that say about me if I'm seeing Billy Bob as a doctor? Okay.
We got 2 minutes. We've actually managed to nail this.
No, we still have 2 minutes. We can totally hose it. Don't worry, we'll try.
We got 2 more games. 2 more games for the night. Where's the 3?
Well, the 8th Canadian has won 4, and the red team has won 0.
Yes.
So 7 minus 4 is 2. Plus 1.
No.
Yes, it is.
Care Bear's sitting over there saying 3. It's 3. Gosh dang it. Just get it right.
I can't see Care Bear. I'm ignoring him.
He's trying though. Oh my goodness.
I hope you guys are enjoying this because we're having a blast.
Oh, yeah, we are.
And it's really fun when we have fun. Okay, so all that said, doesn't look like anybody's changing any of the tanks they're bringing.
The Sheridan of Doom is still coming.
The Sheridan of Doom is still coming.
To maps near you.
Yes, to maps near you. And most particularly to River Point, where you can shoot a bullet at something and might hit it.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. We've established that too.
Yes, we have. We've established a lot of stuff tonight. Learning lots of new things.
Yeah, we are learning lots of other things.
Also,
like Billy Bob's English lessons.
You said it wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm a little better than that.
But anyway, I'm also learning tonight that the red team likes T64s.
Yes, they do. And they're bringing a full complement and only one LAV 300.
Yep.
That can work out on this map. That really can work out on this map.
Oh, yeah.
Scouting here, I don't think scouting on this one is really as critical. It's a very open map. It really allows you to see and move quickly from one side to the other from about anywhere.
I think it'll be the red team's advantage if they take the cap circle.
If they take... Okay, I can see that.
Because here's the thing. The T64 doesn't have the most accurate gun either. The only accurate gun the 8th Canadians are bringing is the LAV 300.
Yeah, but by comparison to the Sheridan, the T64 is pinpoint accurate.
Right, but they have a Sheridan and the T64. And if the red team goes into the cap circle and gets some good cover in and protects like one tank...
But
I
there's
think they
no
can cap
cover
out.
in the cap circle.
Make cover.
Make cover. What are they going to do? Get out of their tanks and assemble something?
No, just use the tanks as a wall.
All right, you guys here, I'm going to hide behind you. When
And
you're
good
all
work.
dead, I'll be stuck, but I'll still be hiding behind you, and they
In the
can't
cap
shoot
circle.
me.
Exactly, in the cap circle, and they can't shoot him, so he'd win.
And this is where they would wish they had artillery. So they-
Exactly. And we're loading in now. We nailed it. We made it.
Oh, thank goodness for the load in.
It looks like one of our cameras were dropped. Or no.
Apparently, somebody didn't ready up.
Aha.
And
Oh, wait. Is he there? No, he's not there. Oh, well. All right, here we go.
now he's loading in. Okay, well, that's fine. And there's the Sheridan. Look at that.
It looks cute.
Okay, I won't argue that. The Sheridan is a nice-looking tank, and the armor scheme in this particular tank does look really good.
But that gun, though. It's sitting there with all those long barreled 125 millimeters. She's like, yep, I got a 152, but it's short.
Yeah, and
Blunderbuss.
It's the lack of accuracy in its entirety.
Right, but the missiles here are very effective and decently accurate.
And here they go. They're off to the races.
And here's Speedy Gonzalez goes.
Yeah, these downhills at the beginning are kind of fun,
It
personally.
is, especially, I was doing 93 kilometers in my T14 down one of those hills. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I followed you in my 2A7, I know.
You tried to follow me.
Look, I hit a rock.
Excuses. And here we go. Both teams got a lap 300 from the 8th Canadian Hussars, who are in red, going down the 1 line. We also have the Sheridan going down the 7 line, while most of the T64s push the 6 line. And a lap 300 camps in the bush at Echo 4. While all of the red team's T64s say, yep, it's capping time.
I think you're right. I think they're going to push hard on the cap circle and try to take it and win it.
Tar Rush, main battle tank style.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's how that works, but okay. You know.
Well, they haven't gone in yet.
No, they haven't, which is interesting.
Well, nobody knows where anybody is right now.
No, nobody does know where anybody is. But I'll tell you right now, the red team is fully entrenched in the cap circle and or near in the city, and getting them out now is going to be difficult at best.
A nightmare.
Yeah, epic.
But we have the two lap 300s up on the 2 line there, which might be very effective at spotting and sniping. And here we have a line, very pretty line of T64s for a moment there. That
And they're
was
dancing.
gorgeous.
A little more dancing.
Yep.
You know, there's a little track to track there.
Yep, and there it is. The cap's been triggered. The red team has 2 minutes to cap, which is this is usually a 4-minute cap.
Now they got 4 minutes to cap.
Well, they make
Now
up
they
their
got 2
minds.
minutes to cap. That is the fastest 2 minutes that passed I've ever seen.
But yeah, I don't know. Billy Bob, you can make it faster.
Yeah, Billy Bob's Time Machine. I can't wait to hear about that one.
All right, and here we go. It looks like the T-64 is taking a lot of damage in the middle. The Dent Arthur Dent there, taking a lot of fire from the 8th Canadians' main battle tanks. And it looks like a Lab 300 got left behind up on the hill from the red team. He's just sitting back there on the Indigo 4 line.
Yeah, so...
Lab 300 did.
Yeah, he did.
But here we go. Here's Soldier Boy 92, been a star of tonight, doing very well. And he's sitting there looking for something to shoot, I'm going to say. I thought he was going to go after the Lab 300 out there, but he doesn't know it's there. And the red team's Lab 300 has been circled by 2 Lab 300s, and I don't think he's going to survive. Cerebius, your thoughts?
I don't think he's going to make it. 2 on
And here
1.
he is.
2 on 1 is pretty hard to beat, especially when they have position on you, and they still have position on you.
And there
he takes
goes.
1 down.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, it did.
No.
They took 1 down.
We were watching the guy that was going to die.
Yeah,
Grandpa.
I know. They took 1 down.
Okay, 1 minute in the cap circle, and it looks like this might
I
just
got a
work.
reset right there.
About 30 seconds.
I don't know if they drove out of it by accident or if it got reset.
I
but-
got resets because we can see Mr. 4009, that's what I'm going to call him, got shot in the butt a couple of times, it looks like. Right
Yeah,
to the
they're in a
BK.
really tight position right there. Hard to maneuver and not get out
And
of
there's 4 minutes in the cap now, and
Yeah, he got killed.
the 8th Canadians are now up 3. And whenever you've been up 2, you win. And they're
Yeah.
up 3. But 2 of their guys are almost dead, so... Yeah, 1 of them died. Oh, wait, no, that's the red team. Sorry. the
Yeah,
red team
they're
died
up
another
4.
time.
There's one of them died still, just not the one you thought it was.
Hey, I'm
I
not
know that feeling.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I was
Anyway,
taking Billy Bob's
there's only
meds.
2 left of the red team, and 8th Canadians have done very well in just pushing right around and knocking everything out.
Oh, and the turret went flying there.
We love
And it is now
turrets flying.
7-1. I'm sorry.
You're not winning.
Yeah, you're not winning. You
Nope.
might take somebody with you, but you're not winning.
You might take a
this.
couple of folks with you, but not in a competitive match like this. You're not going to win.
No, you're not going to win.
Especially when somebody comes up behind you like this and just says, oh, look at that, the back side of the tank.
Yeah,
goes,
and there's the side of
boom.
the tank, and boom, yeah,
And
there
he's
it
dead.
went, and boom, it went. So, 8th Canadians take another win, and
They're doing very well tonight.
they are doing very well tonight. Very, very well.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. You getting heated with all those little tanks come in, steal your shot? Move in so fast like gnats at a picnic? Ooh-wee, I got just the thing for you. Pests be gone. One spray of this, they'll fall over in their tracks. Pests be gone. No more snapping on your snacks till they pick themselves back up. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob's. Don't like that starship? Give us a call. We'll send you a brand new crew, complete with Vulcan gunner. Set phases to sun, arm all photon torpedoes. Oh, wait, we can't send that thing into orbit, but we can sell you some labors. Billy Bob's, we get things done. Vulcan's not included. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Did you hear what them fellas over at Gorlon's Army are doing? They giving away lots of stuff. Mark 6s, 3-day premium play. Man, they making it hard to keep up. Y'all just gotta go to Rafflecopter, sign up, wait till the end of the stream. I like fishing in streams. But anyways, they'll let y'all know if you wins at the end. My darling Wolfie says I better not compete with them. So good luck. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob Surplus Tanks. You tired of not penetrating? Tired of all your shots bouncing? Billy Bob's Cano Man, 32,000 credits. 1 can, all your shots count to nobody but you. Allow 6 to no weeks for delivery. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Is the Artie too much for you? Tired of constantly getting raining shells and missiles? Wish it would just stop. I got it. The Artie umbrella, just in time. Only 1,999 credits. Pop this baby up, let it rain, 'cause it's the only thing it's gonna stop. Keeps you dry, but your tank's still smoking. Billy Bob's. You don't want it, but we got it.
The BMD-1 Tier 4 Soviet armored fighting vehicle, which is currently the leading choice of AFV for the battalions and PMCs taking part in the Armored Warfare Soldier of Fortune League. The BMD-1 is equipped with 2 weapon systems, the main one being its 73mm smoothbore gun, which is capable of dealing 325 average damage per shot. The BMD-1 also has its fixed-in-place 127mm anti-tank guided missile launcher mounted above the turret, which is capable of guiding shape-charged munitions to its target to deliver a payload of 406 damage on impact. As with most AFVs, the BMD has next to no armor and instead relies on its camouflage, view range, and mobility to keep it alive during the heat of battle. The BMD is usually played in a passive, scouting/harassing role, staying in the back to preserve its hit points until the end of battle, when it can rush forward and eliminate targets that are already engaged, and, for the most part, avoid getting hit. While the BMD is the current favorite of most of the PMCs/battalions, there are a few who prefer to use the American XM800T for the scouting role, as it performs better in a knife fight against other AFVs and can thus be counted on to usually eliminate the opponent's scout. It has taken a backseat, however, due to its inability to harm MBTs with its low penetration on its 20mm cannon.
All right, so here we are on River Point. We had a team spawn up here. I'm just going to put a circle there. I'm going to put a more professional circle in the other corner because I can. Maybe. There we go. So we had 2 teams. Both teams are red. And we had one team go straight and just try to cap. And we had the 8th Canadian Hussars put a Lav 300 over there. They put the Sheridan over here. They put their T-64s right here. They split up their team. Well, the red team stayed together and sent one Lav 300. And I think he just camped right here, actually.
Yeah, he camped up there. And, I like the strategies that the 8th Canadian took on this one. They pushed everybody in, but they took their lighter, more agile tanks and put them on the sides. Even if the Sheridan couldn't hit anything, at least it would have some shots into the sides of their opponents.
Right.
And that's the way to play it.
It is, and I think that the 8th Canadian Hussars are showing a level of sophistication to their strategies. A lot of thought has gone into every map and how they're executing things because it's just so clean.
Well, this is week 7 of playing these maps again and again and again.
Right, but I think the 8th Canadians are showing a level of sophistication that we normally don't get to see. Personally, I think their strategy is a step above everything else.
Okay. All right, I can see your point there.
And the red team, I think, doesn't quite have that sophistication. They have their team down. They know their team. They know themselves, and they know how each other plays. But I'm going to take a Sun Tzu here. Said, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you're going to win every match you fight, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the 8th Canadian Hussars very well know themselves and know the map, which is one of the enemies you could be facing is the terrain.
Well, that's a great point, and I agree with that because, in knowing themselves, they're bringing the Sheridan. As a battalion commander, I'll tell you right now, I would not. I don't know that I would do that.
I don't think I would either. And what I think I see here is the red team very well from their experience in the leagues knows themselves very well, but is starting to come up against some very stiff competition, and because of that, they're starting to lose some matches. Yeah, and stress levels are probably very high right now. They're just starting to get down to the wire.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall in the red team camp right now, listening to what they're saying to each other. It could be both ways. I mean, it could be positive. Okay, let's just stay with this. We can do this. And
right.
It could be very negative. It just depends on how they are as a team. Their play style and and what they're bringing to it, I'm not sure. I was expecting a lot more last match from the red team.
Right, and so is I, but I think with the red team, I think they were a little too hesitant last match. Okay, they kind of just stayed inside of the cap circle, didn't really engage. If all of your tanks are together and you know that the opposing team is split, which is what the scouts are for, which they have very few of, you've got to push one side and bring your guns to bear while they're split.
I think they could have done that. They got to the city much faster. I think they could have taken it, gone around the edges of the city, and put themselves in great positions to just attack the 8th Canadians as they came into the city.
I agree, and I think their
While
advantage.
we're on the open.
Yeah, and I think the advantage of the red team right now is in their T-64s. Very heavily armored, very good guns. They need to blitzkrieg these maps and bring their arms to bear and just push.
And take advantage of the speed of the T-64, because it does have that.
It does have that, and they have more T-64s, and they've got more T-64 guns, so they can brawl better. And if you're going to brawl better, you've got to blitzkrieg the enemy. You cannot let their mobility of their tank destroyers and light tanks outflank you, or you will lose, as we've seen.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you in its entirety. You're going to have to go and push and be decisive in what you're doing. And I agree with you. I think the red team here, they were hesitant. I can see the hesitancy when you're down a man. You want to play a little more defensive.
Right, but they had all of their people here.
I know. Now that they're equal, they're still playing defensive. I don't know if mentally they just haven't overcome the hurdle.
It could be a little bit of shell shock going on there from missing a person. And it could be that morale is down.
It could be. I don't know. We're not in their camp. We don't hear what they're saying, and so, it's just going to be what it's going to be, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Right, and I personally think that once you get in a role in a certain match, like you keep on winning and winning, it's easier to win. And if you keep on losing, it's easier to lose.
Well, there's just the whole psychology of it. The psychology says that when you're winning, you believe, you have the confidence you can continue to win. And when you're losing, saying, okay, well, we got a loss, but we still have the confidence to win, is very difficult.
It is, and even if you don't recognize it on a conscious level, it's in your subconscious. And I think that's really affecting the red team right now, and why we're seeing this string of losses in such an even match.
Yeah, It could be.
And I think that's down to them having a man gone for half of the matches they fought.
They did. They were down. It was what, the first 3?
I believe so.
Yeah, the first 3 matches they fought one man down, and that you're right. That is difficult to overcome. That is difficult to say, okay, now that we're even, we're going to bring this back and keep going. And so but they're there.
They're there.
They're
And
there.
it's outstanding. It takes I'm going to say it here, a superhuman level of discipline in yourself and your mind to come back from 3 losses in a row and take the lead again. It's very difficult to do.
Well, I believe right now they're at 5 losses in a row.
Ouch.
So
Well, I was going from the man down.
all right,
From
right, from the man down. Right, so that point where they went from man down to even, those 3 losses, I do think they had an impact on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think they can come back and make a great showing in these last 2 matches.
Well, they can, but they can't be timid about it.
No, they need to be aggressive. They need to show that aggression, and they need to get in it and go.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're just passive, like they were in this last match or this last set, if they're just passive, then that's just not going to work. So here we are. We're loaded in. They have switched
Beautiful
sides.
T64.
So we didn't switch maps, which means they switched sides. So the red team, thankfully, is in red, and they have spawned on the north. And in blue, we have the 8th Canadian Hussars. They have spawned on the south.
Just a heads up, one of the mini-maps is bugged whenever we are observing the red team. You'll notice that there's a lot more tanks in the spawn location than there should be.
What's this right here?
Oh,
It's
perhaps
there.
I'm wrong. I'm just crazy.
Raux is going to try some of Billy Bob's glasses.
Hey, they're good glasses.
Yeah, they are.
He told me they were.
Yeah, the perception glasses. You see what you want to see.
Alright, and here we go. It looks like all these T-64s are grouping up again, and they're going to push. I really hope we see the Blitzkrieg here, because I think that could play to their advantage. And we're also going to see a lot of stuff. I got something in my throat
Okay,
right there.
so I think we're going to see everybody go to the center again, and we're going to see attack. Again, we see the 8th Canadians spreading out. They've got their Lav 300s going west. They've got their Sheridan going east, while the red team has stayed mostly together.
With their Lab 300 in a good spot to snipe down the 7 line, but almost useless for anywhere else on the map, which could be good and could be bad, depending on how the 8th Canadians play this.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some shots being fired at the Sheridan. I'm not sure that they're actually hitting anything. And they've already... Did they just push into the cap? They did. They pushed
They
into the
did,
cap.
but they got a BMD-1 or BMP-1P, very similar tanks, almost exactly the same. They also have a T-64 there, and they've got 1 minute and 25 seconds before they cap out. And this is the 8th Canadian... This is the red team.
This is the red team, so they did not play passive. They pushed straight in here.
Right, which could very well win them the game. They've got to hold on to it for 1 minute and about 10 seconds without getting any of their tanks in the capsule light. And we can see that there are tanks on the outside edge defending the tanks in the core and keeping that cap timer counting down.
Yeah, this could be... This is going to be good.
It is going to be really good. And something I've noticed in random matches while we're sitting here watching the clock for a moment is that the more tanks alive on the opposing team when you cap out, the more experience and credits you get at the end.
Yeah.
So fast cap is a very reliable strategy and can do a lot. And here we have the 8th Canadian Hussars pushing in, knowing they've got to stop it. We have one of their guys.
They just neutralized the clock.
They've neutralized the clock, but that's a 40-second clock if their guy gets taken out. And it's 7-7 still. Both sides are even, and the red team is taking some hits. But the 8th Canadians just lost their tank, a T-64.
Ooh, that is going to hurt. That is, but
Especially with the T-64 advantage that the red team already has.
yeah, so they're playing very aggressive here. This is great play by the red team. It looks like they were able to rally and start a comeback.
And they started
here.
flanking the 8th Canadians in the cap circle. We can see here 4009 going in and getting some damage done. And here we have an awesome fight on the hills. I'm glad we switched to this. And we have these tanks switching up. And it looks like the 8th Canadian Hussars win the fight on the hills because they had both the LAT 300 and BMD-4 Sheridan, the M551 Sheridan, knocking out those tanks. So now it's 6-6 and the fight is still as hot as ever in the main town.
Yeah, but they brought it back to even.
Also, the minimap is still broken.
Yeah, the minimap is still broken, so be careful when you look at that, folks. There really is not a tank over there. That was an interesting geyser of water in the middle of the desert.
It was in one of the bathrooms. And they both lost a tank at the same time.
Holy
5-5
cow,
now.
5-5. They both have lost. Well, oh, and it goes down 4-5.
The 8th Canadians are down a tank. The red team might be pulling it back. They could have gotten their confidence bans. The 8th Canadian, the red team has advantage in hit points and armor now.
Yes, because
And they've
they've taken
kept it.
out T-64s of the 8th Canadian.
And they're still up a tank, and they
And
have
took
all
out
of their main battle
all
tanks.
of the main battle tanks for the 8th
So they have
Canadians
2
are
tank
gone.
destroyers and a light tank to deal with, which the T-64s can be very confident at eliminating. I wish the mini-map worked right now.
So do I. But the Sheridan's down. So it's down 2 tanks. It's 2-1 now. Advantage the red team. Amazing gameplay here as they come
It
back.
looks like the red team has gotten their psychology in order and has just annihilated the 8th Canadians and showing them they're not going down without a fight in this tournament to the finish.
Yeah, and just wonderful, wonderful play there as they got a little bit of a collision.
But it looks like it's 2-3 now. Either side could still win. It's 2 Lab 300s versus 2 T-64s and a BMP-1P. I think the BMP-1P is going to be the deciding factor here as it has a lot of its points still left, about the same amount as the T-64s, and it's just fast enough to keep up with that Lab 300. I think it's in the best interest of the 8th Canadians to go for a tie right now.
Yeah, that would be their best interest. So they would have to play for a draw. But the downside is they don't have. It's hard to tell with the mini maps.
Yeah,
still, but-
it's hard. We know we have a Lab 3. We have the 2 Lab 300 up here. This is a much better picture. 2 Lab 300s out here in the woods getting ready to snipe. I think the red team needs to take the cap circle and force the Lab 300s to come to them.
That's what and they
And
did.
that's what they're doing. There we go.
It's
All the tanks are
exactly what
piling
I've done.
in.
I would have piled in the
Perfect.
cap circle and said, "Bring it on, guys! You want to run away? We're not going to chase you. You come to us because we're in the cap
And it
circle."
looks like if those T-64s fire heat ammunition, they can one-shot these Lab 300s.
Ooh, that could be dangerous.
But you have to be aware that the heat rounds have slower fly time, the
Yes.
slower velocity, so it's harder to hit something, especially something that moves as fast as the Lab 300 with them. And you can see the Lab 300 trying frantically to get around here to get shots in on the cap circle by going around not getting hit. They cannot afford to lose the tanks right now.
No, they can't. But their opportunity to play for a draw is diminishing dramatically.
It is. They've got
that cap
40
timer
seconds.
keeps counting down. So he's into his position, but who's going to spot for him? How's it? Can you see into the cap circle? I don't think you can see into the cap
You
circle.
cannot.
From
Not
there.
from here. He's going to fire some rounds and hope to get a couple of resets, but I don't think it's going to happen. Especially not with that many tanks, and he's only going to reset it by a little bit. Because
If
you know
at all.
the tanks with all of the cap points are going to be focused in the middle, being guarded by their brother. And we can see that the cap timer got reset a little bit by the shielding tanks, is what I'm going to call them.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, so they bought a little bit of time, but not enough.
Nowhere near enough. There's 4 minutes in this match, and they've got 15 seconds to reset the cap.
Again, yeah. I don't think that. I think the 8th Canadians.
I think the red team is taking this one home.
I think they are. They are taking this home. Amazing gameplay. Just like we talked about, they got aggressive. They went straight to their objective.
Yep, and it looks like that this guy, Bullet
Whoa!
1375, he reset the cap a little bit, but not nearly enough to offset the game. And they're down 2 tanks now.
They lost a gun. They couldn't afford that.
Well, they couldn't afford to sit there either.
They can no
extended
longer
the match.
harass from both sides.
No, but the red team can cover both sides already.
But by being able to cover, being able to harass from both sides means those tanks have got to constantly be shifting.
That was an amazing game, and it looks
That
like
was
the red
wonderful.
team has gotten their psychology in order, gotten their heads in the game, and will be competing very well for the rest of the tournament.
Amazing.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bob surplus tanks. Is the shishkin too expensive for you? Do you want a T90 MS? You grind too hard? I got you covered. Get the T90 POS. Then you too can show off your Tier 9 powers. You can be popular, have a girlfriend, all for the one low price of 3 million credits. Some assembly required, instructions not included. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob's here. Tired of all that ice making your tank slip and slide around? You need Billy Bob's anti-slip and grip pellets. Just one bag of this, you'll get all the grip you've ever needed. Climb anything, climb anywhere. Never slide back, just tank forward. Billy Bob's, we get you there. Anti-slip and grip pellets only available on Neptune. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob's here. Is the fox giving you too much trouble? Is the spinning wheels got your turd all twisted? Billy Bob's, have we got the thing for you. The fox trap. You put it down, then sink your round. Never mind what that pesky ranger has to say. It's not for fur. Just trying to level the playing field. Remember, all rangers have bigger guns than you. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. You like the Striker missile boat? So do I. You tired of always running out of ammo? Me too. Well, I gone and done it again. The Striker missile boat piggyback. You tow it behind you. When you need more ammo, get out and reload. Then the Striker missile boat piggyback. It carries all those little extras you need and want. It carries the load till you explode. Trailer will explode when hit. So will you. Woo, doggy! Billy Bob here. You tired of getting hit when you sneak in a peek? Billy Bob's pop-up periscope. You pop it up, see what's happening. Then you can get your shots in when it counts. No hits on you, all shots on them. Man, this is something we need. Down pop-up periscope, on to the next tank. Pop-up periscope is just cardboard with 2 mirrors, all supplied by you. Some assembly is going to be required.
Okay, everybody, and welcome back.
This is Raux from the Black Market. I got free stuff for all you guys out there. Come in. We got some raffles going on. And we just enter the stuff in the description, and you'll be able to win yourself some free tanks. This is the Black Market, and we're gone now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to that. So I'm going to pretend it didn't happen. Welcome back, everybody.
Nothing on the Black Market
And it looks like, so we are changing maps, which means they will not change sides. And we're not 100% sure which map they're going to yet.
Pretty sure it's going to be Roughneck, though.
They're still showing River Point, but there are a couple of maps they could choose from beyond River Point. It will not be River Point in the end. It will be something else.
It's been confirmed as Roughneck standard match.
So we should be seeing that change here shortly as they switch over to Roughneck.
I just want to say it was an amazing match last game. That was glorious.
That was glorious. And it looks like Red Team's switching it up. They're going to bring in 040.
I can see that. I can see that working really well on Roughneck on standard mode. Because an 040 can play hills extremely well. Accurate gun. Quick gun. Okay?
Yeah.
Good, strong turret front. It can get up in those hills, use the gun depression, and just obliterate things. Because it's so accurate and so fast firing. It's about 5 to 4 second reload, I think, on that gun. 4.8 seconds.
Well, depending on what you got for retrofits and screw skills and all those things come into play.
And I'm assuming that with these leagues, I'm assuming that everybody has a full crew on their tank.
So let's talk about the T-64 for just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. We see the T-64 week in, week out. Of course, we got a little highlight that we've done of the T-64.
Right.
That talks about that a little bit. Let's talk about how do we configure our T-64 for PvP play.
That's a good question. I configure my T-64. It's more sluggish than any other of the Soviet and Russian main battle tanks. Okay, it's a little sluggish, but it's one of the ones, after you get through the T-62, you get the T-64. And unlike the T-62, your whole armor holds up much better in the T-64. But its mobility is much worse than the T-62's. So what I'll usually do is I'll go for mobility and aim time.
Okay.
Okay, I've seen other builds where a lot of people go for damage because the gun is really good at that, or penetration. But I think the biggest thing in battle is to be mobile enough to reposition as fast as possible. Because if you can't move, you lose.
So, right now the big conversation is, accuracy.
Right, that's the meta right now.
That's the big meta right now.
Especially in the higher tiers where your weak spots.
Right.
Things.
So, but in your T-64, you're saying aim time.
Yes.
Why? Why not accuracy?
One, it's tier 4. Weak spots are pretty big, and they're pretty average. Lower plate's usually weak. There's no challenger, because the challenger's lower plate is invincible. Okay? And I go for aim time because the aim time is so long on the T-64. And you need it to aim down, otherwise you're taking a lot of shots at like these massive blooms, and you could very well miss a shot that could be game-changing. So you've got to get the aim time down, and you've got to get the mobility down, simply because that's where it's the worst at.
So, in your mind, the big weaknesses of the T-64 are the aim time and the mobility.
Yes.
Okay, now the other tank that we see a lot of every match, Lav 300.
Right.
What do you think? What are you thinking your retrofits are, and what do you try to accomplish with that one?
I'd go for a lot of DPM, so reload, accuracy, and aim time. All gun.
That's really hard to do. To work those three metas.
If you have to go for one, go for accuracy.
Really? So this one is the accuracy meta.
It's a tank destroyer. It does not have the armor to get in a fight. It doesn't have the turret traverse to knife fight. It's a very slow turret. So you've got to stay in the back, and you've got to use your accuracy to just pop people off. If you get in a knife fight with something like a BMD-1, you're going to lose.
And a slow turret, of course, is no disadvantage at long range.
No disadvantage at all.
Because you're just talking tiny turret movements to make those sweeps.
Exactly, and you've got to stay in the back. Now, the speed of the tank is good. Okay, and that doesn't mean you need to rush to the front line with the Lav 300. You want to get in the back in a good hill, in some bushes, ideally behind a rock where your turret can pop up, and you can just keep on sniping. and you've got to use that active ability to your advantage. You sit there when you see a lot of tanks spawn out, you hit your E key, you stay still. If you move, it negates the effect, but what it does is it stops your gun muzzle from flashing. So your camo remains the same while you fire for 3 shots as long as you don't move.
Now,
And
but that's move your wheels, right? You
You
still
can move your turret, and you can't move your wheels. And there is a limited amount of time between shots. Okay, if you take too long, it negates the ability.
Right, so you got to fire those shots quickly.
And I think that's the way you got to play the Lab 300. Now, if you have a gang of Lab 300s, about 3 of them, you can do some damage by YOLO rushing. But it has to be a platoon on comms, and it would not work for leagues, I don't think.
No, because everybody's on comms in leagues.
Right, and so here's the thing. With a platoon of Lab 300s in PvP, the Lab 300 can go 93 kilometers an hour. Mm-hmm. And so what a friend and I did, good friend, way back when, Dragon Courier and I, we'd get in Lab 300s or Dragoon 90s, works the same, and we'd just blitz. We'd go right in, we wouldn't even stop. We'd just fire on the move. And it caused such confusion in the enemy team that we had a 75% win rate in those tanks doing that.
Wow, impressive. But that doesn't work so well on comms because everybody can talk to each other about what's going on.
Exactly. It
Where
won't,
in random matches, you don't have that comm.
Yeah, with random, it only works in random matches. Because these teams will not be shocked by a rush. They'll be a little confused, but they're just going to obliterate it and move on.
So do you see Obsidian or My.com saying, hey, let's put comms into the game so that these random match players can talk to each other? And if so, do you think that's a big deal?
I think it's going to be a big deal, and I also think that it will cause a lot of randomness in the matches. They've already talked about integrating a comm system. It just hasn't been confirmed yet. Whispers here and there. And I think the big thing with integrating a comm system is, one, a game that's also coming out recently is Overwatch, and they have an amazing integrated comm system. But even with the integrated comms, not everybody has a mic.
Well, you know,
Okay, and so you have some teams that are all on comms, and some teams that have 1 or 2 people. So that leads to breakdown of communications.
well, and you know, the other challenge is you don't know what you're going to get on comms.
No, you have to have the ability to mute
So-
players on the fly.
Yeah,
Well, like
because-
really fast. And after they've been muted, I think after a player's been muted so many times consistently, I think they should just take their ability to speak away. So he's auto-muted for everybody. So he can still talk, and you can still listen to him, but you have to take off his mute. So when a person's auto-muted, you know what to expect from that person. You can just say, "Yeah, I'm not going there."
I think if they're going to do an auto mute thing, that the auto mute thing should be for a period of time. First offense, 2 weeks. Second offense, a month.
I can
You
agree
know,
to that.
That type of a thing.
I can agree to that.
So,
And it looks like we're about to join the match.
hopefully, they've started it, so we should be coming into it here shortly.
Yep.
So last match, guys, this is it. The win for the red team is a big deal because the leagues are won on points.
Right.
So every win counts.
It's huge.
It's absolutely huge. So
And we've also seen both these teams go away from their 2 losses now.
Yes.
They've lost more than 2 games each.
So, it could be this is a big deal for the red team. That win really does matter right now for them as they go forward.
Right.
And we're going to see if they can get 2.
I'm really excited for this game because the 040 especially, being the tank that it is, it can play hills incredibly well. Very, very well indeed. And it looks like both of our cameras have been kicked from the match.
Oh, that is so uncool.
It is, but I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much we can do about that either. Sadly, this. Remember, everyone, the game is in beta. There still is a lot of work to do, and while the game plays incredibly well, and there are so many things that work incredibly well, there are going to be little faux pas like this, and I have confidence in Obsidian and My.com in correcting these in a timely fashion,
and I will
seeing this go away.
Cerebius, I think we should call the winners of the raffles right now. Get them their rewards, and I will contact Bullet 1379 about getting the replays from this last match so that we can post them. I'll work on getting both teams so we can do a postcast so we can still see this match later.
Yeah, that would be really good. So yeah, we will work on the raffles, and we'll see what we get from there. In the meantime, I think we'll show some Billy Bob ads while we're working out the raffle stuff. Thank you.
Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. I'd just like to thank those guys over at Gorlon's Armory and Armored Warfare for making it so easy to hijack their signal, sell my wares. Just like my grandpappy Zhang used to say, son, if you can't marry a wolf, buy a shishkin. And if that's too much, call Billy Bob's for all your tank needs. Billy Bob, Tank Supplies. All shipping handled through Pluto Express. Wait times vary from never to not going to get it. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Just wanted you all to know we're filling up the tanks and getting ready to roll out with a new line to solve all your problems and mine. Man, they say my grandpappy Zhang was third world. Wait till you see these. Light tanks with heavy guns, heavy tanks with light guns. How about a solid tank with a super gun? Special one-shot kill capabilities. Super scope so you can find all your enemies and friends on the field. Armor so strong, 20 tanks can't stop it. Sounds great, right? You like it, I like it, let's make a deal. Billy Bob's, your new tank supplier. Tank's never going to be built or supplied. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. Wolfpack got you all bothered? Like that new camo look, but can't afford it? Call me. I just got in my all-new line of Never Seen It camo. Only 8,500 credits. You put this on, y'all never see the credits you spend again. Billy Bob's, we got you covered. And in some cases, uncamouflaged. Woo, doggy, Billy Bob here. The Lab 300 got too much hop. You running down tanks, bouncing all around. Every time you hit something, it goes the other way. Ooh-wee, it's like having a jackrabbit at the back end. I'll tell you what, if this is happening to you, try out Billy Bob's, try another tank. It gets rid of all those pesky problems. Billy Bob, you got problems? We solve them. Woo, doggy.
Okay, everybody, we've run the raffles, and we have some winners. In the Chieftain Mark 6, we have Murcielago winning a Chieftain Mark 6. Congratulations, Murcielago.
Congratulations, you get a special Billy Bob camouflage.
Yes, you do. Also winning the Chieftain Mark 6 is the Valiant. So congratulations to the Valiant for winning. We'll have that to you in your email. Winning the WZ1224 is also the Valiant. He's a double winner tonight.
Congratulations, the Valiant. And as these come in a code form, Cerebius, you can give it away if you already have it to a friend of yours. Or if you do cash in the code, you will get some cash, although I think it might be half the price of the tank. So
yeah, I'm not sure what you get for it, but you could turn in the code that way. So you can share it with a friend if you already have it, or you can use it yourself. That's
and
entirely
get some
up to you.
cash.
Hey, we want to thank everybody who's participated in our stream tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening to us. If you have, please subscribe and like. That really helps us out. If you haven't, we hope to hear from some of you on tips and ideas. And from what we're hearing, there have been some tips in the streams.
And
we'll
it is
try
much
to,
appreciated.
Those are deeply appreciated. We're going to try to incorporate some of those ideas. And everyone, I hope you have a wonderful evening. We will we'll know who the winners are when we know who the winners are, and we'll try to get those cast
Well, we know who the winners are. We just got to get them the codes.
Yeah, well, I was referring to the matches. Whether it's the Red Team or the 8th Canadian Hussars. We'll try to get a cast up of that, if at all possible. At a minimum, we'll try to get the replays up. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. I'm Cerebius.
And I'm Ralix, and this is Gorlon's Army signing off.